I'm still trying to process the absurdity of it all, like a never-ending nightmare that refuses to dissipate. I'm talking, of course, about my catastrophic experience at Hotel Club Is Torremolinos. It's a place that promised the world, but delivered a dystopian wasteland of disappointment. As I stepped into my room, a pungent aroma of dampness and stagnation slapped me in the face. It was as if the air itself was toxic, suffocating me with its heavy, wet blanket of despair. The walls seemed to close in on me, whispering, "You're stuck here," in a haunting, perpetual whisper. I felt like a prisoner in a maximum security cell, minus the luxury of a functioning toilet. And speaking of toilets, oh boy, where do I even begin? The porcelain throne was an exercise in futility, a proverbial square peg in a round hole. The flush was as weak as a kitten's mew, leaving behind a trail of unmentionable horrors. It was as if the bathroom itself was protesting against the very concept of hygiene. I half expected to find a caution, biohazard sign on the door, but alas, the horror show didn't end there. The so-called restaurant served up a culinary abomination that would make even the most iron-stomached individual weep. The food was a grotesque amalgamation of textures and flavors, a cacophony of awful that assaulted my taste buds like a swarm of angry bees. It was as if the chef had declared war on the concept of taste, crafting dishes that defied the laws of culinary physics. And don't even get me started on the all-inclusive facade. Newsflash, Hotel Club Is Torremolinos. All-inclusive means more than just serving the same tired, lukewarm dish for breakfast, lunch and dinner. It means variety, it means quality, it means not making me want to cry myself to sleep every night. But what really took the cake was the staff's attitude. Imagine a gruff, Igor-esque character, permanently affixed to a scowl, as if the mere act of smiling would cause their face to crumble like the hotel's infrastructure. They seemed to take great pleasure in ignoring my pleas for help, as if I was some sort of pesky insect buzzing around their ears. It was like they were competing in some twisted, sadistic game of who can be the most unhelpful. As I wandered the desolate halls, I couldn't help but wonder, what kind of monster creates a place like this? What kind of sadist takes pride in crafting an environment that's equal parts depressing and infuriating? It's as if they took every worst-case scenario, threw it into a blender and hit puree. And yet I'm still here, chronicling my descent into madness. Perhaps it's a form of masochistic catharsis, a twisted need to relive the trauma in the hopes that someday, somehow, things will get better. But until then, I'm stuck in this never-ending nightmare.
I was just looking into some crimes that happened near Hotel Club Is Torremolinos, where all the tourists go. And oh my goodness, it's like super sketchy around there. I mean, I know people just want to have a good time, but come on. So like in the Rincon de Loire market, they caught these 4 guys selling fake stuff like sportswear and bags and stuff. And I mean, I get it, who doesn't want a good deal, right? But these guys were just like ripping people off. They got caught with over 1,290 fake items, can you believe it? I'm like, how could you guys? You know, those poor tourists, they just want to buy some nice souvenirs and then they get scammed. I bet they were so upset, you know, like they probably felt so stupid and they just lost all their money. And what's worse is that one of the guys got away, so who knows how many more people he'll scam. And then there's these 24-hour mini markets and bazaars around Hotel Club Is Torremolinos. They're like, hey, come buy some snacks and souvenirs, but they don't even show the prices, you know, so they just charge you whatever they want. I mean, I've heard of people paying like 3 times more than what the locals pay. That's just not fair, you know. It's like they're taking advantage of tourists because they think they won't know any better. And I'm like, why can't they just be honest? I bet those tourists were so confused, you know. Like they probably just wanted some water and a snack, and then they got ripped off. Oh, and then there's this bar on Benidorm Island, right near Hotel Club Is Torremolinos. They were like operating without a license or anything, and they just kept taking advantage of tourists. They would charge them like crazy prices for drinks and snacks, and there was no one to stop them. I mean, I'm like, how could they do that? You know, those tourists were just stuck, they had no other choice, and I bet they were so frustrated, you know. Like they just wanted to relax and have a good time, and then they got taken advantage of. And finally, there's these street games and fake product sellers on Levante Beach near Hotel Club Is Torremolinos. They're like, hey, come play a game and win some prizes, but it's all just a scam, you know. They're just trying to take your money, and they'll even get aggressive if you try to leave. I mean, I'm like, that's just so wrong. You know, those tourists were just trying to have some fun, and then they got threatened. I bet they were so scared, you know, like they just wanted to get away from those scammers.
The reality of businesses near Hotel Club Is Torremolinos, the area surrounding Hotel Club Is Torremolinos, is a mixed bag. but mostly a torn, stained, and questionably sticky bag. If you're expecting polished, well-run establishments that value customer experience, you'll be sorely disappointed. The businesses here operate under a strange logic, one where neglect, indifference, and outright hostility are somehow part of the charm. Let's start with the shopping scene. Shopping centers near Hotel Club Is Torremolinos feel like a social experiment in how much frustration humans can endure before abandoning all hope. The Fan Mallorca shopping, for example, is less a retail paradise and more a cautionary tale. The parking situation is a nightmare. Rain turns it into a chaotic trap where escape is measured in hours, not minutes. Inside, the place has the neglected energy of a forgotten school gymnasium. The playground is a hazard, the baby-changing facilities are revolting, and the toilets. Imagine the worst public restroom you've ever seen, then add a lingering despair. Reviews mention overflowing bins, blocked stalls, and a stench so aggressive it could qualify as a biohazard. And if you arrive on a Sunday, good luck. Most places are closed, as if the entire mall collectively decided to pretend tourism doesn't exist. Then there's the wellness sector, or as it should be called, the asterisk stress amplification sector. The massage Ibiza wellness concept at Grand Paradiso doesn't soothe, it antagonizes. Visitors report blatant discrimination, with tourists charged more than locals for services advertised as free. The owner's attitude? Openly hostile. One minute you're relaxing in a sauna, the next you're being chased down and sworn at in Spanish, assuming, of course, you wouldn't understand. The whole operation feels less like a spa and more like a poorly executed scam. Hungry. The restaurants near Hotel Club Is Torremolinos seem to operate on the principle that tourists won't notice if the food is terrible, or if they're treated like an inconvenience. Indian Fusion Colador is a masterclass in how not asterisk to run a dining establishment. The staff's default setting is irritation. Ask for an extra poppadom or a half portion for a child, and you'll be met with the kind of disapproval usually reserved for tax audits. The food, undercooked, overspiced, or just plain bizarre. Think vindaloo that tastes like punishment and sagwala that resembles lumpy green glue. And if you dare complain, prepare for passive-aggressive glares that linger longer than the stomachaches their meals cause. If you're craving Spanish tapas, La Bodega will make you question reality. The concept of asterisk fresh asterisk doesn't exist here. The calamari, likely defrosted in a microwave moments before serving. The patatas bravas, a sad mayonnaise-drenched insult to Spanish cuisine. The all-you-can-eat option is a trap. Each round takes so long to arrive you'll either starve or give up and leave. And if you think the staff cares, think again. One diner recounted sending back cold, half-eaten food, only to have it returned, asterisk still cold asterisk, after a quick nuke in the microwave. Even fitness isn't safe. Sunshine Fitness is less a gym, more a dungeon of despair. The equipment is rusted, the weights look like they'll collapse mid-rep, and the bathrooms, let's just say you'd rather hold it. The staff's attitude is so hostile you'd think they were guarding a secret treasure, not a dingy workout room. One visitor was denied access